So today's video is for anyone who's trying to kick bad habits and make good habits stick. If you're trying to change your behavior and change your habits to change your life, then this video is for you. We're going to break down some advice from Tony Robbins that I think makes doing this a lot more achievable. So Tony Robbins talks about everything we do being driven by pain and pleasure. We move towards more pleasure and less pain. And pain in this context can mean little things like boredom, motivation, difficulty, effort, discipline, and things like that, as well as more serious stuff. So the basic idea here is that if you can learn to associate more pleasure and less pain with the good habits and associate more pain and less pleasure with the bad habits, then you'll be a lot more successful in achieving your goals here. And this is something that I've really found to be true. For example, with this YouTube stuff I do, I work a normal job. I work 9 hours a day. I got to come home and do normally about 2 or 3 hours of work on YouTube every day after work. That takes discipline, it takes effort, and a lot of days I just can't be bothered and don't want to do it. So in the early stages, there was a lot of sitting around and watching TV when I should have been filming or writing videos and stuff like that. But now, it feels wrong to me to sit around and watch TV. Like, I feel uncomfortable. And that I realized when I read this advice in Tony Robbins' book, that that's what had happened to me. That balance of pain and pleasure had shifted. I was experiencing more pain from sitting around doing nothing than I was from getting up and making an effort. I now get more pleasure and less pain from making the effort to do this, to sit here and film these videos, than I do from taking the easy route out. Whereas before it was the other way around. So if you can learn to associate that higher level of pleasure with the stuff that you want to be doing, that you need to be doing, and associate more pain with the stuff that's holding you back from that, then the balance shifts and it just makes it more natural for you to do the right thing. It almost just starts to happen by default. You don't have to drag yourself as much through it and force yourself to do it. You don't slip back into those bad habits anywhere near as much. Once you shift that pain-pleasure balance, it all becomes a lot more natural and flows way easier than it did before. So how do you actually do that? This is something I've been thinking about. How do you actually manage to deliberately shift that balance? And I've got 2 tips for you when it comes to this. My first one is to really sit down and think about what your life is going to look like down both paths. If you carry on now with the bad habits and avoiding what you should be doing, what is your life going to look like? What person are you going to be? Really sit and think about it. Really deeply internalize and visualize what that's going to look like 10, 20, 30 years from now. Do you want to be that person? Really have a think about the path you're on. Do you really want to be that person? And think about the person you could be if you shifted that balance. If you started doing these things that you want to be doing, that you know you should be doing, who would that lead you to be? What life would that lead you to have? Really visualize and internalize that. And when you do that, it can really sink in and help to shift that balance. This is what worked for me personally. I was thinking every time I sat on the sofa, I was thinking about where that was taking me, where that was leading me. Like, another day of this. Do I really want to be this person? Like, I want to do this YouTube stuff, man. I want to help people. That's what I was thinking. But here I am sat on the sofa. That's not doing that. That's not the person that I want to be. And the pain of that started to sink in over time. And that's what shifted that balance for me. And then on the flip side of associating the pleasure with the other route, associating the pain with that bad route of sitting around doing nothing, and then actively associating the pleasure of going down the other part, that's what helps to shift that scale. So I had the pain set, and then I was also thinking, if I got up and filmed that video today, I could really help someone. Like, I could change someone's life who struggles like I struggle. Like, what if someone who has anxiety like me watches one of my videos and they feel changed because of it? They feel like a better person because of it. Like, I could do that if I made the effort to film that video. So that's associating pleasure with actually doing the good thing and pain with doing the wrong thing, and shifting that balance through that deep thinking and visualization. And the other route you can take, number 2, is to look at people who are on the path that you're on, to really get like a proper real world visualization of the path that you're on right now and see where that's going to take you. Look at someone who's doing the same kind of things you're doing further on down the path that you're on. Look at them and think, is that who I want to be? And then look at the person who's on the path that you wish you were on, that you want to be on, that you know you should be on, look at them further down that path, see the life that they're living, and think, actually, maybe is that what I want? And just seeing it, having that visual real world representation of both paths that you have the choice to take right now, can be enough to shift those scales. It can make you think, I don't want to be like that, I want to be like this. And then every time you start doing those bad habits, those things that are holding you back, that comes into your head. Is this who you want to be? Do you want to end up like this? Or do you want to be this? And that pain-pleasure balance can naturally start to shift. This is just what I've found works for me. So I hope all that made sense. I hope you took something actionable and useful from this video, and I hope it helps you to shift that pain-pleasure balance, because if you can manage to do that, then kicking those bad habits and implementing the new good habits becomes so much more natural and easy when you learn how to shift this balance. I'd love to know your thoughts on this down in the comment section below. If you're interested in these kind of videos where we talk about self-help, philosophy ideas, discuss and give tips and advice, that's all this channel is about, and I upload daily. So consider hitting that subscribe button and ringing the bell, and I hope I see you in the next video.